As per AIC rules, the losing team gets to choose. So that is worth noting, Jump, because they chose to stay on the red side. This will be the Lindis teamie coming through as first bans, the meta bans from Team Queso, again leaving the powerful characters on the cards. Now Qlash have a hard decision to make, and they choose to repeat the folly from the last game.
Right. I don't believe they're going to have the same draft, though. I don't think they can go into this game number 2 with the same exact thing. I don't think that this is an execution error. I think that this is a draft error.
Okay, but they've banned the same way.
Right. I think they're going to change
but like,
picks.
identically.
Yeah. I think that their picks are going...
The other team got the Sephora again.
But now they have the Liliana, and that's a little bit different dimension. They don't have to worry. They don't have to have the flash go in like they did before, and... look at that.
I also like the fact that Qlash is going with this Liliana because they get a little bit more guaranteed control. Flash, because of his full commit style, it does kind of create difficulties, which we saw Qlash find themselves in a rough spot for that. But now Team Queso on the immediate rebuttal, it's going to be a nice little Omen as well as an Annette.
And the Annette is the far bigger story for me. As that support character, we saw Mowgli actually perform very, very well, an unexpected star. And now he's over to Amina, which is still a very good support character, but it is one with far less potential to impact team fights with poke. This means they need characters that can brawl with the Mina. The Violet is maybe one of them in the side lane, but I'm not overly confident.
I love the decision that Team Queso is choosing. Yes, there are slight variations, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Joker, Cricknap, locked in.
Absolutely. The Violet is very interesting to me, though, because we've only seen Violet from Simjo in the past. We've never seen it here from Sky or any other player really in the side lane in the Valor series.
You can see Roxy coming through as well.
Yeah, Roxy's... Random has played Roxy. If you remember last week, he was the one getting chased by 4 members of the other team the entire game and providing so much room on the other side. So that could be something to look for. He was very good on the Omen last game. Perhaps he can continue this game.
Also have to take into consideration Sky not being put onto that Violet. He actually gets put onto the Richter. Red will be playing the Violet.
So that actually I don't really hate, because I know that sounded indecisive. I don't hate.
Your hatred is very unconfident.
Okay,
there.
I am all right-ish.
Okay.
With this
You're feeling lukewarm about it.
Warm.
Okay.
But like only a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Not enough to swim in.
Is there steam? Has steam started to...
No,
okay.
definitely not.
We have that clarification.
So the reason I'm all right with it is because Sky on the Assassin has looked terrifying. The reason the water isn't warm is because I don't actually think that the Richter is the same burst damage assassin that the Ivory was when Sky looked so terrifying getting power farmed on.
Right. And it's an open question whether you'd have the Roxy in the bottom or the top. I suppose you would have the Richter in the bottom. That's more common these days, but I agree with you. You have 2 jungle strikes, but the second one is dependent on hitting the first one. He's not going to have too much ability to get there. If you're going from the bush, then even though you have the knockup, it doesn't go as far. If you're going from the river, then it's farther, but there's no knockup. It's hard to shut down an ADC like that.
Seeing that you have somewhat of a similar composition by Team Queso is the winning formula in what we see from Qlash. Does the Mina, does the Roxy create that opportunity, as well as even now that they have an AD carry in the Violet?
I think you could swim in this water, but like it would be a little bit chilly. That's an analogy for maybe.
Okay. Thank you for the clarification.
Yeah, I could see
that.
the confusion.
No, it wasn't confusion, it was disbelief. There's a difference.
Oh.
All right, D2, what about you? Do you agree with this? Do you feel that this is the winning formula? Quick point.
For a Qlash?
Yes.
No. Just quickly.
All right,
no.
That was quick, it was decisive. We'll find out if that's gonna be the case now as game number 2 of our first match for the European region has begun. Team Queso up 1-0 over their opponent, Qlash.
That's how Daniel responds to my request to duo queue with him.
No.
Ibuchichi.
Oh, hello.
Ooh, early in trouble. You might have your words stuffed back at you as Ibuchichi has to flee the enemy jungle, and Sky will be able to get some early farm over to his assassin. There is no significant counter invade going on, though the Joker now does slip in.
Right, the fact that they guessed correctly and went to the side that Ibuchichi was on meant that Ibuchichi just had to go back to base, and Ruiz and Simjo are going to have to take this themselves.
So this means that there isn't actually that much advantage being handed over to Team Queso when they go back, and it might get worse as Random cuts off the retreat. Simjo flickers out very cleverly, using the information memorized was giving him to get to safety.
Absolutely. Also using that wall so that no one who doesn't have a dash can get over like that, Mina. Very beautifully done.
Ibuchichi will get back to his farm, but he has suffered. He didn't get the benefit of the counter invade, he lost part of his jungle, and he had to go back to base, meaning it was a little bit slower than he'd like.
Right, and very smart move by the side of Qlash because they know that there's no movement ability on a Crick Neck in the early game. You don't go for the Horn Rush first, you go for the Terrifying Plague, which meant that once they catch him out, they could potentially get that kill.
Let's play a quick game with Redemption. Scorching Wind or Soul Reaver?
With...
Sorry.
A little bit late, I'm sorry.
Long game.
Okay, anyway, that answered itself. I want to play a different game, which is switch the lanes. They have Omen in the bottom lane, speaking of Team Queso, and they have Joker on the top, and they're going to continue to switch this, as you see Roxy now going to the bottom lane, and they're going to predict this move.
They will. Roxy drifting down there as Sky resets to the top. Yavex will drift down to play into the Roxy, but I'm all right with that matchup.
Right, you can clearly see that Qlash wants Roxy against Omen, and they want the Richter against the Joker, and TQ wants the opposite.
Yavex and Memorize do poke near this Abyssal, but Qlash have the start if they want it. Did they just let that reset? Barely knocked out. Yeah, they did. Now the engage goes through Ties of Life. That's beautiful. Ibuchichi with first blood. Mowgli follows him. Random needs to trip back. And Yavex will narrowly survive. Zepta doesn't quite have the damage. Now he'll actually maybe pay for his aggression. As Ruiz chips out the damage with the Water Spirits, he narrowly lives.
Very beautifully done there by Zepta to stay alive. Make sure you go inside that wall of water so you don't get stunned out, so he's able to take that.
Sky will have poke onto Simjo, diving deep beneath the tower. Simjo says, what? Why? Stop.
Sky needs to make this happen early because once the game moves on, Simjo's going to be able to use that pick a card, any card, get away, and also use that can laughter to chunk him down. So this is going to be imperative for Simjo to continue to get farmed up.
Look at this, TQ. Switch lanes again. Yavex drifts up top. Simjo, off the back of that recall, will now go to the bottom, and they're going to play exactly the same game countering them.
The entire time.
Recalling the base.
Yeah, the entire time. They're saying, no, Omen will fight Richter. That's how we're going to do it, and you're going to like it.
But they have different ideas over on the Qlash side as Sky resets down to the bottom lane and the Roxy's going up top.
Well, the thing is, whoever does it first is able to get the wave and able to get the advantage on the rotation. So very nice job of Team Queso to be the ones pushing the pace here.
I'll force Qlash to play response here, and Sky will get to lane quick enough. He's got allies. Maybe they were hoping for a pick onto Simjo, but Simjo's playing safe.
Exactly. Very safe play there from Simjo, making sure to not get caught out. That's what you want to do. When you don't see members of the other team on the map, you do not want to step out into the lane.
Mowgli will drift back safe behind the tower. Top lane, there's a little bit of a skirmish going on, but overall, Qlash are still playing pretty aggressive, and Team Queso haven't given any ground.
Well, Sky might be giving ground right now.
Ibuchichi will come in, but his Terrifying Plague's eaten up by the Retaliate. Nicely done.
I want to point out a build here from Sky. He has the Hermes Select. That is becoming more and more standard for Richters, just to get that extra movement speed when you're moving through the map.
And that extra movement speed will allow the Richter to get into gank position, but he can't get into mid lane in time to defend. Zepta's already gone. Mowgli's nearby. Him and Sky try and find something onto Memorize, but Memorize is playing just out of the range and even lands a win cups to open things up. There's Ruiz through, tagging Sky low. Random! You can't escape this! Team Queso, they're playing so well. Qlash are just shadowboxing.
You were talking about gank position? I think that Team Queso has that down.
Every single time they try and rotate to defend, Team Queso have already got two players pushing somewhere else.
It's beautiful. We see the best teams in Europe, aka Nova, doing this a lot. You play the 1v2 so that you waste their time, and then across the map, you take the 2v1s and get the kill.
And because Team Queso are kind of setting the pace here, Qlash are having to rotate to defend, constantly putting two players in mid, two players down bottom, at the response to Team Queso.
Right, Qlash being responsive this entire game has made them fall behind as they continue to move in response to Team Queso rather than making the movements themselves.
And that's really hurting them. Now, Team Queso finally start to set the pace towards this Abyssal. It's just Memorize resetting it again. Mowgli will intercept it.
Looking at Sephiroth's build here, Ruiz playing that. Going for the Orb of the Magi first. We'll look to go into the Apocalypse next. He'll be doing massive damage once he gets those two items online. Already has 3,000 gold to his name.
Yavex is chasing Random up top. They've got him separated, him and Amorize Dark here for this. If the Death's Embrace lands, it's possible to win the fight. Random has a lot of HP. He'll actually land the Agnes Grasp just to stun up Yavex, drop him low, Meanie wins the duel.
Once again, this is Qlash's key back into
Sky?
the game.
Can you do this? Narrowly. Didn't have enough HP. Ibuchichi wins the fight. That puts him ahead, gives him his 3rd kill of the game.
Absolutely beautiful job by Ibuchichi once more, but I want to talk about Random. That is Qlash's way back into the game. If he can force 1v2s, force members of Team Queso to come over and then barely kill him anyway, that will allow Qlash to have advantages on the other side. Otherwise, Team Queso is going to run away with this.
And that seems like a tall order, but it's exactly what Random has done in previous matches.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what he's done on Omen. That's what he's done now on Roxy. So continue to see him put the pressure on like this. 2 members have to come up to deal with him.
But Ibuchichi makes it worth his while, stealing away a little bit of jungle in the meantime.
If you're going to go somewhere, you might as well get some gold.
That's my life motto. That's why I like Gilder. Mid-tower will fall. Queso just push wave. Now Sky actually wants a kill. He's got 2. Mark and Under does so much. The rest of the team's here. Mowgli, that was beautiful. The flicker, Dark Dominion resets Rubies and memorized and keeps Sky safe, allowing Qlash to carry this kill over into an instant pickup of the Abyssal.
Sky showing the power of that. Richter goes in with the Hunter's Mark through the title life, through the pick card, any card.
And they want a tower as well. Qlash explode off the 7-minute mark.
That is absolutely beautiful job by them to get back into this game. 1v5 in kills, but they're evening up that gold count, and that's all that matters for them.
Especially as they now have tied the tower count as well.
That's very nice of them indeed. Actually, they're 1 tower behind, but that's okay. They're really pushing in, and that's putting pressure on Team Queso.
Because they have that bottom tower down, they have even control of the bottom side of the map again.
Absolutely. Ruiz, no mana.
Sky just goes in, absolutely chunks him. Half HP on Ruiz. We questioned, can Sky do the same burst? Yes. Yes, he can. Even on Richter.
Yeah, absolutely. But look at Team Queso. They're all clumped in mid. This is what happens when pressure gets put on you, TJ.
Qlash want to take advantage of that, push into Team Queso's Yavex in the top lane. The rest of Team Queso are there to defend, but they are rotating to defend. This allows this bot lane to open up as Sky pressures Simjo.
Right, and that is the key for this game. Qlash need to continue to put the pressure on that they found these last couple of minutes, and Team Queso need to find a way to re-aggress onto them, to put their own pressure on, or else they're going to be clumping in mid again.
Random, though, does fall to Ibuchichi, chunking down the tank in the top lane.
That is so much damage. That is why you pick a Quick Neck. You can take down anyone, even the most tanky characters like a Roxy.
I'd like to highlight the amount of pressure we've actually seen consistently coming out from Sky in the bottom lane, because this should be surely a marker for Team Queso. Pressure the carry opposing them. Why have they not done that?
Well, they're finally getting the matchup that they want, speaking of Qlash, right? They've wanted to have this Richter v Joker matchup the entire time. That's why they kept switching it. And now Sky is starting to get his farm, starting to get that damage in. And it's hard to deal with it, even with pick a card, any card, because Hunter's Mark lasts so darn long.
So why have Team Queso not rotated down and caught off that carry?
It's very hard to do that in the midst of a game in which you're trying to worry about other objectives like the Darkslayer, like the Abyssal Dragon. So they've stopped focusing on specific lanes and started focusing on more of the overall macro play, and they've kind of fallen off of that plan.
And it does feel like maybe Team Queso were suffering forward as Sky gets another kill down bottom. He'll look for 2, pressuring Simjo. He perfectly, in vulnerability, frames the first stun, but Ruiz has more where that came from. This, however, opens up Qlash to some macro shenanigans. They want the Darkslayer.
Can they get there in time, though, speaking of Team Queso?
Yavex is already here, calling out the vision. The rest of Team Queso will arrive. Darkslayer is very low. There's the Death's Embrace spent. Mowgli there to try and defend his carry, but Redemption's down. Darkslayer does go to Qlash, but Random's fallen as well. This is a disastrous fight. Qlash just need to run, and they only survive with 2 players.
Beautifully done by Team Queso to get there in time. They have the mobility on their side. They're able to jump in and get the kills. Even though they don't get the Darkslayer, that is a win for them, certainly.
They do, however, on the Qlash side, manage to survive. They get the Darkslayer away from their opponents. Sky's in trouble, though. There's the full rotate. Mowgli to try and defend with the Dark Dominion, can't do it. And actually, he might now be in trouble as the Water Spirits chase him through the brush.
Sky being able to take on 1v4 isn't a great thing if there's no teammates left on the map, TJ. If you're just going to go down, then what is the point?
Not much, as we find out. The Dark Blessing and the Abyssal Dragon buff both go over to Team Queso.
Yeah, that's going to be so powerful for them, especially Mowgli has to pop that Essence of the Windshield.
Just to get it safe. You don't want to use it on yourself as a support.
Yeah, absolutely. But I want to look at something for a second here. Redemption, he has the Frost Keep. He's playing so safe around Ibujiji here. That means he has much less damage to put out.
Oh, Agni's grasp! Memorized! Pulled back! Dark Dominion comes through! He's gone!
Oh my goodness, we've been waiting for that combo all day. Finally comes out at the perfect time here for Qlash. Now they're looking to be on the aggressive.
They've still got that Drake, not yet summoned. It's on random. There it comes.
Can they get anything out of this? So I don't believe so. If Team Queso clumps up here in mid, is able to defend. Only one siege minion remaining.
They want a full 5-5 team fight in mid, though, from Qlash. Even if TQ try and defend, if they only have 3 players, they may just take a losing fight.
Very true here. And look at Sky, he's actually...
Yavex will be his focus. Multiple other players from Qlash rotate through. He'll just back off.
Yeah, not the best target there for Sky, but they're going to continue to push in here. Ruiz, I want to take a look at his build for a second here. So much damage to his name.
Oh, random. Sorry, you can talk about the build now.
He has the Apocalypse, he has the Spoovy's Mask for that Magic Pierce, and now he has a Hecate's Dive. That multiplies all of his magic damage, all of his ability power.
Oh. Ibujiji will demonstrate some ability power of his own, blowing up Sky in the bottom lane. Yavex and Simjo in the meantime to defend the top. Random and co will just back off.
Yeah, that was so fast he couldn't even pop Retaliate.
Random's actually in trouble. You can see a full dive onto him. Simjo, though, gets turned on by him. Random brawling. Now Memorized might have overextended. He won't quite be pulled back. Neither Mowgli nor Random can pull. Ibujiji will arrive, misses a drone drop. There's the water wall. Mowgli stunned up. Tide of life through. 2 kills over. Random can't survive this, surely. He will try his best, but it's 3 kills back to Team Queso.
Memorized does it again. That win cuffs was ridiculous. Without that win cuffs, it's a very even fight, but that turned it completely in favor of Team Queso.
Now Team Queso want to take something from it, but Sky will dive in. That's a very good engage. Ibujiji is deleted.
Sky, more of that, please. Oh my goodness, the damage comes out hard and fast.
It doesn't save their tower, though. Qlash still lose their mid lane.
Yeah, he has to go to, split push, but he needs to get back to the base in order to deal with this.
Yeah, he needs to be watching for this because their high grounds are now under threat in 2 lanes. Zefta tries to clear, but there's still siege minions to arrive. Sky will save mid just as Mowgli's pushed forward, Memorized with a great water wall.
Yeah, but I don't think they can get out of here, though.
I don't know if they can either. Zefta hot on their heels. It looks like Qlash have just let Team Queso drift away.
Right, so best case scenario though for Team Queso, they lose a hero, but they get a tower because Sky went over to split push. And they need to be on the same page here in order to be able to hold off these pushes. They can't let any more high ground towers fall.
Random will go up to top just to maintain wave, you'd think, but it's a trap. The rest of Qlash are behind.
Exactly, they want to take out Yavex, start to get some pressure back on the Queso here.
Unfortunately, Random can't quite land the Agni's grasp. He's even pulled underneath tower for 1 or 2 strokes. Redemption, though, doesn't care. He's playing Valor.
It still works. They still get the tower, but waiting in here is Team Queso. They're trying to get this, especially because the Darkslayer is up in 45 seconds.
Are Qlash back in this game?
A little bit. I wouldn't say quite back into it.
But they definitely do look willing to fight. Simjo will need to spot the candle after to survive Sky, and they've actually separated Memorized quite badly. They do grab Ruiz on the overextension. Memorized can't save him. Redemption grabs the kill. Ibujiji blows his drone drop. It doesn't find anything for it. He's actually pulled back by Mowgli, and that means Zefta's got another kill.
I am speechless, TJ. I don't even know Ruiz, what is going on here? After some amazing engages earlier, he just walked in with a Tide of Life. Surely he knew that he was going to go down there, and now they're pushing it again?
Mowgli, Great Dark Dominion, again, initiating for his team.
Yeah, he absolutely needs to do that for his team. I gotta say, though, Memorize needs to be there initiating for his team just to make sure that Ruiz doesn't have any of those crazy shenanigans like that again.
With the kill they found onto Ruiz and Ibujiji, Qlash can take this Darkslayer.
Yeah, you asked me, are they back into the game? Now they're back into the game with this Darkslayer here.
Still down a high ground, though. That does mean Qlash are at a deficit permanently.
Right, it really comes down to how much they can get out of this Darkslayer. Can they go and push into the high ground of Team Queso? Can they make this happen? They need to be extra aggressive here.
Team Queso do have a double, now triple man defense in mid. Ibujiji waiting in the wings while the frontline players Ruiz and Memorized wait under tower.
Yeah, not really confident to pull the Drake quite yet.
Yavex, can you win this? He thought he could. Now he realizes he's bitten off a bit more than he can chew.
Sky is just so powerful. Remember in the last game, Yavex was losing the Richter versus Omen matchup, and now he's losing the other side as well.
Unfortunate. Mowgli Let's land a nice little scythe in mid. Randoms here as well. The Agnes Crash will go wide because Memorize dodged it, juking over his head, and that actually means this tower may be able to be saved, but Mowgli again turns the tables, flickering forward, using his Dark Dominion, keeping Simjo off of the damage. That's the high ground exposed.
Yeah, both sides, beautiful play on those supports.
Now Team Queso want to reinitiate. Watch Yavex round the side as he flickers in. Mowgli's Death's Embrace. He can brawl, he can spend the Dark Dominion and turn the entire thing. Memorize needs to get out, but he does. The Drake will fall. Redemption in a lot of trouble. Will be burned down through the tactical fire. Sky was completely absent from that fight. Now he arrives all too late and tries to turn the tables again. He will grab Ruiz. I don't think that was enough.
Oh my god, I don't know how it happened, but that was a disaster for both sides. That was a disaster for both sides. If Qlash is there, that is a complete team wipe. They go onto the wrong member with that Death's Embrace. Mowgli pops the Dark Dominion. They have the entire team in their grasp, but they barely get away. TJ, what is happening?
Well, Team Queso are taking the enraged Abyssal.
Oh, thank you.
No problem. Randoms nearby. Sky actually did get Death's Embrace and just left to his own business.
He should die here. If they just chase him, he's dead. Hello?
Yavex landed the Death's Embrace, realized he couldn't win the fight, just dipped. Random's now trying to steal Abyssal.
Oh, he
does it!
Got it!
With an auto attack, he gets a kill as well. That's insane!
Not quite a kill because Ibuchichi comes back with the Blade of Eternity, but that is one you spent.
Random, how did you do that?
Random powers. He has been a star for Qlash. He went from the jungle to the side lane and just been taking names ever since he switched over there.
What is this game? I'll ask your question.
I am not quite sure, but it is absolutely ridiculous. And the damage coming up from both sides will be ridiculous from now on.
With that Abyssal taken, now Qlash are leading the team.
They're trying to get these towers. I think they're going to be able to do so because look at this push party.
If they can crack a high ground, they've truly evened up this game. Actually, Yavex is fully split just to push the super minion wave.
This is scary. This is very scary here for Team Queso. If they can't hold 4v5, they might just lose the game.
Watch that split push. It is ongoing, though, and Qlash need to recall just to deal with it. That's why the pressure's now coming through. They know it's a 4v4 at the very least, but it's actually a 3v4 and actually a lot of trouble.
Okay. All right, by the way, if you look, Yavex specifically showed himself on the map to make sure one person came back so they didn't lose that fight.
Sky is that one person. He'll show up. Dark. Death's Embrace does keep Sky safe. Mark of the Hunter, not quite enough damage.
And Purple Sword shove into the ground, make sure he stays there. That's a good way to do it.
That was actually really good macro play by Team Queso, though. Because of that split push, they haven't lost to high ground.
And that is good team play as well, because they know what they have to do. They don't overextend. They make sure that they hold behind their tower while they distract. And look, this Abyssal buff is going to wear off very soon.
It's a little bit longer as per the last patch, but still not quite long enough for all this shenanigans, and Qlash have gotten one tower from all of that.
Yeah, 120 seconds as opposed to 90 seconds pre-patch, so Qlash still have a little bit time to work with.
Team Queso, you cannot defend this tower. Don't try, just hold the high ground.
That's what they're gonna do.
Play safe behind it, memorized now, leaning forward for the wave clear. Yavex split pushing in the meantime, but Redemption's in trouble. That's good Hurricane Wall. Memorized dives in, it is deleted. Team Queso might have bitten off much more than they can chew. It'll split pushing during that time. Ibuchichi's the only one in the base, and the core vanishes. Qlash take the high ground and take game 2.
In an instant, that's all it takes for Qlash to make it happen. Just take down the members while we were off looking somewhere else, and they're able to take them down. Beautiful play at the